Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another Stay Fishy Friday.
There you have it, folks. Now for your favorite host to go and introduce the show. Just kidding.
Always a comedian. How you guys doing out there? I'm sorry, I didn't have time to type back to each and every one of you, but hi everybody. I said hi, and then a bunch of people said hi back to me. I didn't have time. I'm sorry, but hello to each and every one of you, and even Raheem all the way from India. Oh my goodness. I can't believe how far out we reach. That's amazing to me. You know, I'm less technical from way back, you know, and it just kills me that, you know, we're worldwide like that. It's just amazing. But anyways, you got something to tell us?
We can wait until after the mom update.
Oh, you gonna pull that on us. Okay. Let's see how many people are here before we get into the mom update then.
Right now I'm looking at 152.
161.
Not a ton.
We can wait a few more minutes.
Yeah. Tonight's drinking word.
Wobble wobble or hamburglar? Which one do you want?
I'm gonna do the hamburglar.
All right. As you guys see, we got special guest here. We got the hamburglar himself. Where's your striped shirt, buddy, and your hat?
Oh, it's dirty right now.
Okay, well, he's going to be hanging out with us tonight. He's actually going on a very long distance rescue at about 2 o'clock this morning. That's why Reaper didn't show up today, and we had to cancel one of the.
Give him a little insight into this. So
Okay.
we have a supporter in Iowa, and he's going through some hassles right now with his medical conditions. And he's got some beautiful fish, and you know he could have upright and sold these fish and got a ton of money out of them. There's some very nice fish, but he said he wanted them to go to a great home. He didn't care about the money, so he called us. And we've been trying for the last 3 weeks to set up a trip. And I was trying to find someone that was maybe passing through that could meet us halfway. Some way to get them to Chicago. I can have my friend ship them back to us. Like I was trying at everything to try and help this guy get his fish to us so he could know that his fish are taken care of. Well, come down to it. Reaper's here the other day, and he's like, I ain't got no rescues to go on. I'm like, I have a few. He's like, where are they? I don't mind driving. I said,
He opened his mouth. Don't do that around here.
I'm like, it's not close, but it's not terribly far. I'm like, it's 8-hour drive.
Farther.
we all have. So he was like, yeah, 8 hours is not bad. And then he's like, and you find some other fish on the way. So we've got one possibly two stops. All depends.
We definitely have 2 stops.
Yeah,
Reaper will deal with it.
well, no, we have 2 on pen and paper set and scheduled.
Possible third one.
Possible third one.
But
that's
the third
up to
one's
Reaper.
really nice fish, and we got to add it in there. It's only 20 minutes out of his way. So, and it's before the second stop.
Correct.
So Reaper's leaving. He's coming over at like 2 o'clock this morning. And that's why he didn't answer his phone today. He slept all day so that he can be, awake tonight and do the, 9-hour drive?
It's with no traffic. It's 8 hours, but if you run into rush hour in Chicago, it'll be 8.5.
An accident along the way, something. So 8.5 hours. So he's going to be driving a long way. Our boy Reaper's going to put in work this next day or two, and then Hoover's going to go with him, and.
We've got color, we've got rarity, and we've got teeth.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this mom update, and we'll get back to that story. Okay? All right, here, guys. We have gone through, you guys have been watching, and, everybody wants to know what's going on with Tracy because you're vested into our lives. So I tell you guys every week what's going on with her. And this week, you guys have known this whole dentist thing. She was in the nursing home for 7 months where I found out they never brushed her teeth once. So she has tartar buildup behind her teeth in the back and the front right here. And he won't let me go in there with my garage tools and get this out of there. So she has to go to the dentist. Well, that was put off because she is on the trach and the feeding peg. So no normal dentist will do it. A Cleveland Clinic wouldn't do it. We finally found Metro that will do it, but we had to, jump certain hurdles. We had to take her down for a CAT scan because the chest x-ray showed that she had pneumonia. And we're like, she don't have pneumonia, So we had to go down for the CAT scan, and they see a little blockage on the bottom of this lung, and we're like, that's been there for like 20 years. Everyone thinks she has pneumonia when they see that. You can look back in every single x-ray that we've had taken, and it's the same all the time. And because they're not part of Cleveland Clinic, they didn't believe us, so we had to get the pulmonology team to get a hold of them and give them the okay to go ahead and put Tracy under and do the dental surgery, fix her 3 cavities, and give her a teeth cleaning. Well, we've been doing this for 18 months now and waiting for appointments and all this stuff, and we finally got past everything. They're willing to do it at Metro now as long as pulmonology says it's okay to put her under general anesthesia. We brought it to our pulmonologist, Dr. Fahid Fidel, and then it was Jennifer Barone, his assistant or whatever. They both said, okay, we'd feel better if we had a CAT scan first. So now she goes in for a second CAT scan. It shows that she's improved and she's better and she can breathe really well and all that. I'm like, well, of course, we take care of her at home. So from the nursing home, she's improved everywhere. She's never had one bed sore since she's been home. She's had multiple in the nursing homes, So we take care of her, and we do everything we can for her. And so now they said, okay, well, it'll be okay. We want to do some blood labs, make sure there's no sign of pneumonia. Okay, so they took blood, comes back, everything's good. Her white blood count's right normal as can be. She's doing perfect. So Jennifer Barone talks to Dr. Fidel, and Dr. Fidel says, I'm not comfortable with putting her under, being on, she has a trach and a feeding peg, that if she goes in the surgery and gets sedated, she's going to have to go on to a ventilator again. And for some reason, he thinks she'll never come back off of it as she goes back on the ventilator. So they stopped everything. That's it. Red light, brakes. That's it. We cannot get past this now because Metro wants a clearance from pulmonology. Pulmonology says, no, it's too dangerous. What do we do about Tracy's teeth? She's in pain. We can't even brush her teeth no more. She's got 3 cavities, and we had to stop using the toothbrush. They said to use the foam little things that we got, and we've been, cleaning her teeth like that. But she is in such pain every time we brush her teeth. We do it twice a day. And she's in tears, and it's killing me. I can handle fighting 3 guys. I can handle everything else in the world. I can get in an accident, and I can be right on the ball, knowing what to do. No, we're insured. Are you guys okay here? Don't move. I'll get the ambulance. I can handle any situation. I cannot handle Tracy crying. I just can't. It starts me crying every single time. So we were. Oh, and to get past this, we had to talk to the ombudsman of Metro because they were not going to do it until we talked to the ombudsman and threatened this and all this stuff. Then they said, if you can get the pulmonologist and her hospital to agree, then we're good. And now our hospital cut it off. So, and listen to this. This is Mara. She's not even here right now. She texted me a little bit ago because I got this message from them saying that it's a dead end. It's nothing going to work. After 18 months of doing hurdles and stuff, she goes, I'm messaging my girlfriend Maria right now because she's actually works at a dentist's office in Cincinnati, which is about 5 hours away. I'm waiting for her to answer me. I asked her if she can get Tracy a dental consult saying it's okay to do her work with Novocaine or lidocaine. That's a general anesthesia or local. That's not putting her under, right? So, but what dentist has the ability to put somebody with a trach on a feeding peg and needs suctioned out while they're doing the dental work? Metro wanted her to go under so that they can hold her mouth open and do all this, right? So she says, so she can Tracy a dental consult saying it's okay to do her work with Novocaine or lidocaine because she is not allowed to go under general anesthesia because her pulmonary team says it's life-threatening because of her tracheostomy. I just wanted a professional dentist to say, yes, it can be done with lidocaine or novocaine in writing, so we can have it get Tracy serviced here with another provider outside of the provider zone of insurance. I'm trying, so don't be talking bad about me on the live stream tonight.
Yeah.
You gotta love Mara. She goes, I'm working from home off the clock because it's bothered me and I'm pissed. I love Mara. She is such a sweetheart. So Monday now, we're calling the Cleveland Clinic, which said they wouldn't do it. Their dentistry wouldn't ever do it, right? So we're calling Cleveland Clinic, the ombudsman, and putting in a complaint that they're stopping her from. See, here's the thing. Mara says it's life-threatening because if Tracy gets an infection in her teeth because there's 3 cavities, it could build up, and then it can get in her bloodstream. If it goes to her bloodstream, it's life-threatening at that point, So how can this hospital say, no, we can't do this? It needs to get done. I don't want to see Tracy in pain, So I remember before I was giving her syrup and peanut butter in her mouth and, giving her a taste of stuff because she don't eat. It all goes in her feeding peg. So I was trying to be, nice and give her a little treat, I can't put nothing sweet in her mouth. So that knocked off the syrup. That knocked off anything like that. I can't put nothing that needs to be chewed up in her mouth. It has to be a liquid of some sort. So I'm giving her a taste of Pepsi. No, can't do that because now it's too sweet. It's hurting her cavities. And she instantly winces into tears. I'm giving her peanut butter still, and that seems to be okay. I can put that in on the roof of her mouth, and she goes to, It's so cute. So, somebody says Sensodyne toothpaste, it's way too past that. She's got 3 cavities that are about an 1/8-inch round hole. Because when we got her from the nursing homes, they did not brush her teeth at all in the 7 months they had her. No one told us this. They also did not cut her fingernails or her hair. I've never seen. I used to accuse Tracy of these boys not being mine because I'm mostly Indian. I didn't get no chest hair on my chest until I'm 50 years old. Now there's a light little bit. This kid's hairy. He's hairy as can be. His legs, his arms, his chest, his face. I couldn't grow a beard if I tried. So I always thought, I don't want to know for sure because these are my boys. I love my boys. I don't want to know the truth. But I always had that suspicion in my mind until Tracy came home from the nursing home and her legs looked like a gorilla. I'm telling you, I had to take and clean her up. I'm like, holy cow, how could they let her go like this? Because you guys remember, for the last 5 months, it was the COVID thing. I wasn't allowed in there to see her. And this is how I fought, and I get her home, and this is how I see her. Fingernails, where I had painted her fingernails, and they were like, I don't know, a 1/2 inch off of her finger, and here was the paint. This was all just growing extra. Her toenails, her hair on her legs. Oh, let's not even talk about how I had to deforestation her lower regions. It was bad. So I finally found out where Josh got all of his hair from. It was his mother. Sounds bad, but I don't know. But anyways, now we're at the standstill point, and there's nothing getting done. 18 months of fighting this, and we can't even get her a cleaning on her teeth to remove the tartar behind her teeth or fix the cavities. So we're going down Monday, and we're going to file, what's it called? Mara told me. She used to work at Metro, and you could put these, file a claim in there, and then all the big wigs are involved, and they don't want it to get public. So we're going to do that Monday, and we're going to get somebody to get off of their butt and finally do something about this. We've jumped their hurdles for 18 months, and we have now back to ground zero. So it's just horrible. But in other news, Tracy's been doing so good. Her oxygenation levels have not dropped off. I don't have to turn her up no more. She's just so happy, being there. She's not upset and aggravated. You can tell when she's laying there, she's like, she's aggravated. Something's hurting her. You know, she's always good, unless we brush her teeth, of course. So, you know, this is just crazy. But we're gonna Mara and I will go down Monday and do this stuff. And now Hoover's lost a little bit of weight, so he wants to start walking the block. And I'm like, you know what? After the nurse leaves at 4, I can take Tracy and put her in her wheelchair, and I can actually walk her around the block. I'm not stuck in this house. If you want to do walking around because our block is a mile long, so if you want to walk Tracy around the block 6, 7, 27 times, it's okay. We're gonna start doing that in the evening time where it's not so hot, not so much sun, and helping with our weight loss because he's lost some weight. I'm down to 310, but I can't get past that 310 barrier, even though I starved myself. So, anyways, that's the Tracy update. I hope you guys all liked it. She's doing really well. She's very, very healthy right now. You know what I'm saying? She's very healthy. Her body's healthy. We're just waiting for her to come back. So,
we have a super chat from the Fahaka guy, $10. He said, hope all is well. Hope Tracy is improving. Just moved my 10-inch buffer into the 125. He's eating red cherry shrimp and pet snails that were in the tank. Isn't eating otherwise. Should I be worried? Well, no.
Not really. You go ahead and answer that.
I was just going to say, for one, it's eating the snails and the shrimp in the tank, so he's technically eating. He just might not be eating prepared food. It might be, stress, moving the puffers, a little bit stressful on him. I just give him a few days and see if he comes around.
Yeah, because once he starts running out of the shrimp there, he will start taking the tilapia and the shrimp that you're putting in there, for sure. You get anybody hungry, they're going to eat. So that's Mara's here.
Why eat the beans over there when there's a nice good steak right here?
Right.
That's what he's viewing with the shrimp most likely.
Mara is here. She says, hi, y'all. Just saying hi. Got to go. I'm writing a letter to somebody. Laughing out loud. I don't know who. If anybody has a dental background, please message Bigrich. We need help. Look at Mara. She's still working from home. This is her time off. She does 6 days a week here, and 6 or 8 hours a day, and she's working from home. She's such a sweetheart. Remember last week I kind of ragged on her a little bit because she took off like a Friday and then a Monday, and it made my whole weekend. I had to take care of Tracy for 100 hours straight or something like. I don't know what it was. I don't remember, but I kind of ragged on her a little bit. And now today I have to build her back up because that girl deserves props. She works hard here.
All right, so you guys were wondering about the baby.
There's a baby?
Not yet.
Oh.
But I will tell you guys that she went in for a doctor's appointment this week, and the doctor said that if the baby does not come this week, then she will be induced next week or be scheduled to be induced. So as of next Wednesday, if the baby's not here, then there will be an induction scheduled. And
Can I come over and induce it?
No.
No. I'll just hide. When she comes to do dishes or something, I'll just jump out. Ah! Her water will break. She'll scream and yell at me. I'll call 911. Your mom actually got induced 3 times on your older brother, Richie. Remember, he came out 10 pounds, 8 ounces, and 11 months, 3 weeks, almost 12 months pregnant. They kept inducing her, and she wasn't coming out. And she was going in for the C-section when she went into labor, and then they were... Oh my God, this was so horrible. We had one doctor threw a suction cup up in there and suction cupped the baby's head and was pulling, and I saw his hands shaking. I'm like, oh my God, you're going to kill him. Another doctor reaches over, grabs these tongs that are shaped like this, put them up in there, and grabs the baby's head, and he's pulling, and the baby's shaking. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Another doctor reached over, cut her from front to back, and came out. Craziest thing I ever saw in my life. It was ridiculous. I wanted to hit them doctors. How dare you treat my son like that, you know? And then I look at him and I'm like, don't show his mother. Because he had tong marks on his side. He had suction cup like a dome on top of his head. And I'm like, this is not normal. You know what I'm saying? This is abnormal as can be. Don't show the mother. You know? And, you know, Richie turned out to be a very good kid, but he came out 22 inches, 10 pounds, 8 ounces at 11 months, 3 weeks pregnant. It was crazy.
That's her the biggest fear right now. She's hearing all these stories, and she looked up what was the longest pregnancy, and it was like 375 days or something like that.
Oh, that's more than a year.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, what if I'm pregnant for a year? I can't take it.
Poor Brittany. Oh, my goodness. All right, so you guys got any fishy questions? Let's get on with this here.
Hamburglar.
Everybody drink.
And I just seen this.
Isn't that hilarious? Okay, let's go on with our buddy Jim Sheasley. He sent this in. Now, you know he's the one that made, let me go with these here, the Bigrich action figure. Look at that. Yes, Bigrich action figure. Then he sent this one in, and I'll agree with you, okay? This is Bigrich in a mermaid outfit. Okay, so if it's got boobs, it's got to be a doll. I'll go with that.
Mm-hmm.
But he made one of Hoover. And, you know, had a striped shirt on, hamburger, everything. And now, you know, Hoover loved it and all that. But he sends in this. Well, let's go with that kit first. All right, here. He sends in this. This is hilarious. We get a box from Jim Sheasley, and we start opening it up, and we get this. This is the Hamburglar accessory kit. It has the necktie, and what is this up here?
Hat.
Oh, the black hat. You can't really see it. The black hat to make Hoover's action figure, the Hamburglar. I love it. Then he sends us, was there something else on there? Yeah. Oh, that one? Okay. He sends us in this, which is another fish mount rainbow trout. Look at them teeth. And then on the back, you know, there's a hook there to mount them. So thank you, Jim. That's awesome of you. But Jim Sheasley is a jokester. So he took a can of
Spaghettios.
And I'm not going to say this out loud in case there's any young kids watching, but he remade a label for it. Now, I don't know if I'd even open this can and eat, though, because I couldn't stop thinking of that name.
I wouldn't even worry about the name. I'd be thinking about it. Spaghettios. And I had some meatballs.
Thank you, Jim. You're the man. How funny.
And that is why the drinking word is Hamburglar.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Okay, we've missed a lot of people's mentioning on here.
Not too much.
No? You've been watching?
Not really too many fish questions.
Tracy Carter says, Bigrich, Tracy's so lucky to have you. You are amazing. I hope I meet someone who has the unconditional love for me, like, aw, you have shown for Tracy. So beautiful. Aw, thank you, Tracy.
Brian Jennings says, good evening. Setting up my 180 for 6 red-tailed barracudas gifted to me. Would an FX6 and an Aquaclear 110 be enough filtration? They're about 8 inches each. Yeah, it'd be fine.
That'd be fine for now. I mean,
well,
would they get bigger? And then
they'll stay small.
What are they?
Red-tailed barracuda, little freshwater barracuda.
Oh, yeah. Okay. They get to about 11 inches, don't they?
I mean, it depends on the species. There's a couple species. The smaller ones, yeah, probably max out at around foot. But there is one species that can get up to 30 inches long. So as long as it's not that species, you should be fine. And the filtration is plenty enough. Someone asked where the sturgeon is from and how big will it get. The sturgeon's in the 750 right now. He's doing
Matt's
great.
Monster Fish Tank.
Yes.
And he's doing great. Go ahead.
and he can get up to about 8 feet long. When he gets larger, he will go out to the pond. But for now, he stays in the display tank because he looks awesome. But he is right in the monster pond room. Any advice on African cichlids bullying fish and terrorizing my tank? One of two things can happen. You can remove the problem fish. You can add more fish into the tank so he can't choose his own spot. So he doesn't have no one to bully. That's how we get our African cichlid tank to work. There's so many fish in there that, one can't take over and bully the rest of them.
Okay, Pineapple Water says filling without removing the cavity itself doesn't make sense. Of course they wouldn't do that. They would go in there, numb her up, and
someone had mentioned you using Dentex cavity.
Oh,
filler.
just a filler so it'd give her temporary relief.
Right.
Yeah. I saw that. They have them at Lowe's.
No, White Lightning says, "Why is Hoover naked in the last video?" Had his shirt off.
Oh, your shirt off.
Oh, that's when you guys.
He's trying to attack a boy or attract his boyfriend.
No, that's when you guys called me and I was doing something in the pool area and you guys needed help and you guys were like, Hoover. And I came around the corner and I didn't have no shirt on.
For people asking about the last rescue video, what you've seen in the video is as much as you're going to get. We can't share other people's personal, info. So I just say, respect their privacy. But the fish are doing great.
Fish are doing good, and there's a lot of them,
And a bunch of those will actually be put up for adoption. So
yes.
We will be putting out a list, probably even tonight, for pickup starting tomorrow or Sunday. So keep an eye out for that. I only post a list on the Facebook page for Ohio Fish Rescue. I don't post them on Instagram. I don't post them on TikTok.
Or our group, Ohio Fish Rescue, the group. You put it on our main page.
I put it on the main page.
So if you look on Facebook,
specific directions.
Yes, you put it on. You look on Facebook. If you look up Ohio Fish Rescue, you're going to come up with two things. One's going to be a page and it says Ohio Fish Rescue. That's the one we're going to keep and keep working on. The other one, it says Ohio Fish Rescue 501c3. That has been a forum that we have worked our butt off on, and now we have to end up phasing out within a year or two. We're just not putting the effort into it no more. We're putting it into the main page because now Facebook has monetized their page. So if there's ads or something on any of our videos on there, then, we get, we're monetized now. So we have to go that route.
So yes, I will post that up soon. And there's a bunch of people who message me on Instagram or TikTok. I don't put them on there. I put them on Facebook for a reason. And I stop, answering people that comes to my, email or my Facebook in a private message. Because then I'm dealing with, 10 different avenues of people and trying to remember. Now I can put it up on the post. If people follow the directions, they will get their fish. And he could go on there at any point and say, hey, who's picking up the red tail? Because I have no idea. He can go on there, see a name, a time, and know exactly what it is instead of people just showing up or not knowing.
I set up somebody to come get a fish, and then you've already given it away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a big pain, and we're getting through all that. A lot of these groups like Herbs Alive and all these other little rescues, they do things with they do a great job, but they do things monetized, paperwork, adoptions. It costs you money. We're over here doing this for free, and so we're not as, let's say, organized or as advanced as they are in their paperwork. So it's hard for us. If Josh promises something to somebody and he don't call me, I promise it to somebody. Now we got problems, So we only use one format to give away the fish, and that is our Facebook Ohio Fish Rescue main page, or what's it called? Our business page.
Correct.
So that's where we give our fish away and put up lists.
And even if you don't have a Facebook, because a lot of people say, hey, I don't have Facebook, how can I see it? Business pages can still be viewed. You might not be able to comment, but you can still view it. So,
and our phone number's on there. You can contact us that way. Our problem is people are contacting us through Instagram, through YouTube, through the Facebook page, through Facebook Messenger, through Messenger itself, through email, and then through snail mail. I mean, it's hard for us to keep up with all them different formats. So only the Facebook page is what we're going to start answering and doing now, you know. I have our mods that are on the group forum, the Ohio Fish Rescue 501c3, and they do great things and help out. We're going to move them over to the Facebook page, and everyone's going to have their own job. And if they don't like it, they can move to another section and find the job that suits them. And basically, you know, we're going to need 1 or 2 people on just messaging because we get so many messages a day. They can answer a lot of the little silly stuff and then forward us things that they need our input on, which will help out a lot. But all these 7 different ways of getting a hold of us has got to stop. I mean, it's crazy. You know, we're doing this all for free and out of our pocket, and we're doing nothing but helping everybody. And, you know, people are getting mad at me because I'm not answering them. I've tried getting a hold of you 7 times, and you know, I see you gave it away to somebody that got a hold of you once. I don't answer the Instagram messages. We don't have the manpower or the time in our life to do this. Everybody's lucky that I go through every single YouTube response and at least put a like and a heart on there that I have seen it, you know, that we have seen it. If it's something life-threatening or emergency, I'll answer it. If it's something that I'm not too busy, I'll answer them things too. But that's our secondary thing. You know, the more interaction we get through that, you know, the better off we are, because then the YouTube algorithm sends us out to more people. So, you know, we're stuck between, we want to help, but this is too much work. But then this is too much work, and then this is too much. It's just so crazy. And I was trying to handle so much of it myself, and Josh was just trying to handle the TikTok and the Instagram, and that was too much for him. He's like, I'm done with that. You know,
well, you got to think, there's 500,000 people on TikTok. You're
right.
getting bombarded on YouTube with 150,000,
right,
and Facebook with 25,000. Now you've got,
and people are getting mad at us. You know, 40,000 on our YouTube forum, 30,000 on our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just people are getting mad at us for not answering them. But I have tried my best to answer everything. You know, I sit here all night long watching Tracy, and I may fall asleep for 20 minutes, wake back up. I take care of Tracy. I sit down in the bed, and I take care of messages. Hoover's always seeing me take care of messages. That's all I'm doing on there. So, I mean, it's just too much for us to handle, you know, by ourselves. You know, we've got great mods, but they're handling just some of the online work, and, you know, they're not here handling everything that's come shoveled at us. So, you know, we get people showing up here unexpectedly, and I hate turning them away, but I didn't ask you to come here. Why are you here? You know, and then another problem we have, people show up here and they just walk into our backyard. Like, who are you? Why are you in my backyard? Get out of my backyard. Don't you knock at the front door? We get this all the time, every day, to the point where I'm going to spend $2,000 and put a fence up so nobody can walk to the rescue. It's not a open to the public thing, and people shit. I go to somebody's house, I go to their door, you know, and I knock. If they don't answer, I call them. If they don't answer, I leave. You know, I don't walk through their backyard and go through their fish room and all that stuff. It's too crazy. It's too much for us all to handle. It's just getting out of hand, and we have to find some way to put a handle on it, you know? So we're going to mainly look at our Facebook page and our YouTube and our TikTok. The rest,
and Instagram.
The rest are secondary. But we're not going to answer any of the messages, you know?
I answer pretty much all the messages on TikTok and Instagram. But I weed through a bunch of the garbage. Like, I don't answer the highs, the hays. You guys are doing great. Awesome job. I mean, I might give you guys a thumbs back up, but to go and answer all those, I normally just, hey, I got this fish. Can you guys help? Sure. Where are you located? What can we do for you? Half the time it's, you know, I point them over to the rescue page. Go ahead and post them up. Free to good home. If someone local wants to come and pick them up, cool. If you end up not working out, you can always bring them in and drop them off. And 99.9% of the time it works out, or they're like, hey, I would love to come see the place. Can I just come and drop it off? No problem. And that's where a lot of our fish have been coming in. Besides like the pond rescues and these few big rescues we've been doing, there haven't really been a lot of fish trips for, you know, Reaper and Hoover. Like that's been dying off slowly.
But we're getting back to them. But anyways, Karen Pizzoli says, Hoover, blink 3 times if you're being held hostage with no food. Stop blinking. He's got a big can of fish butts right here.
So someone was asking about the peacock bass. You're going to add it to the 1,000-gallon tank. So no, that one I'll probably just end up rehoming. I have a couple friends and people who've been looking for them for a long time. I've got 3 monos in the bass tank now. I don't need to keep every bass that comes in. Our bass tank is peaceful right now. Keep the peace. You could add 1 fish and throws off the whole equation into the tank, and then you have a dead, you know, kelberry or a dead pipinema.
And so it's something that you've raised forever, and you can't just or do you go out and get another, you know, kelberry or another, you know, azul or something that was so colorful and so beautiful, and all of a sudden it's gone. You can't just go buy another fish that size. Now you got to raise one from this big that you buy from the pet store and get it bigger, and then eventually put it in there. But then your fish are way too big.
You say kelberry, I say no problem. Reaper's going to pick one up tomorrow.
Oh.
You guys were asking for hints. I just dropped one for you. That's the only one. That's it. No more. Lost that one.
The Skyland back says fame is extremely difficult, impossible to deal with. God bless. We're not famous guys. It's just, you know, in our world of fish people, some people hold us in high regard because of all that we do, and we appreciate that. We love that. But I can walk down the street. No one even knows my name. It ain't until I walk into a pet store and they treat me like Norm from Cheers. Bigrich, how you doing?
I don't know. I was in Illinois and somebody pulled up and was like, "Hey, Hoover," and I'm looking over like, "Hey, we're one of your guys' fans. We watch you guys all the time." I'm like, "Wow, really?"
You're in the Ohio Fish Rescue van, and everyone, you know, stops us all the time. It's fun. You know, I used to drive around the van, and people are like beeping at him, like, "What's this guy's problem?" You know, and I look over, and there's some guy over there. Hey, I'm like, oh, the rescue. Yes. Hi, how you doing? But I was like, you know, it was weird at first. But, yeah, when we're out in the van, a lot of people do beep and wave and all that kind of stuff. And it's fun. It's fun. But we're only semi-famous in the group that we, you know, help so much. We try and help so much with, you know.
Lewis Woods, $5, says, love you guys and all you do. Followed for years in the background. Keep up the great work. Hashtag Team Tracy and Hoover. I think he meant to say Hamburglar 3 times. Drink them all.
Thank you, Lewis. Thank you. You can say Hoover. It's just as well as the Hamburglar. It's the same guy.
AJ's asking about clown knife in the pool. All the clown knives go into the 4400.
Yeah, with clown knives is you have 1 or 2 or 3. They tend to be territorial and want to fight. 5, 6, 7, you got no problems. You know, I think we've got 7 in there now, and we've got a Royal to go in and another one that we just picked up to go in eventually.
Well, the Royal we have is in with the gold, so he'll just stay there and let them grow.
Till they get big, yeah.
So there's problems. Why move a fish is not. He's on a 750. He'll be fine. We got Fish Room Dave says, Josh, since baby is due within the next 7 to 10 days, how many names have you dwindled it to? I've got my list. There was 10 on it, dwindled down to 6. She's got her list, completely different names, and probably about like 6. So not getting very far with that one.
All right, here we go.
You know, read something. Alice B says, I have 2 male stingrays growing up. I want to get some females. What's a good ratio of male to females in one tank, or is it better to keep them in separate tanks?
One male. Right.
Put it on your finger. How many? 1, 2, 3. Show them.
3 females. Did we all pick the same number?
Yeah.
Who looked around the table?
Yeah, he saw our fingers. Yeah.
No, I didn't like that.
So normally you can do a trio, 2 females, one male, and that is fine. But the ratio to produce the most amount of pups, if you're actually trying to breed, 1 male to 3 females, and he will constantly be busy going back and forth, and he would end up knocking them all up, and he'll be satisfied.
So a stingray harem.
You
The Fishing with Dano says, or Wimpy with Popeye. I'm figuring he's talking about Hoover looks like Hamburglar or Wimpy from Popeye. We need to put a tie on him and a little brown derby hat. Because you look just like Wimpy.
Oh, that's you.
That ain't me. No.
Yeah.
Old ass.
Trust me, Wimpy's bald. I am not bald.
That's you. Would you
No.
you'll gladly pay me Tuesday for a
That's
hamburger?
Wimpy,
today?
yes. That's you, buddy.
That's you.
Holden asked if you can keep a peacock bass with a red Oscar. Of course. They would be best of friends.
Unless there's a huge size difference. If any one of the monster fish can fit another fish in their mouth, they will eat them.
Someone asked if there's a good way to get tannins out of the water besides water changes. And the answer for that is not really. Every other way that you can do it is very cost inefficient. So you will spend a lot of money trying to take the tannins out when you can just change the water. So that is absolutely the best way.
Okay. What's that called? Deadlim says, Declan, what's your thoughts on adding baby cichlids into an established tank? Will the older cichlids kill them or not? See them as a threat and leave them alone. See, that's a very touchy question because they can definitely fit in the older cichlid's mouth. So if they're hungry, they will go after them. They will eat them. That's just nature. But if they're fed really well and you add these in there, they'll become part of the situation. And like
give them places to hide.
Give more places to hide is always better in a cichlid tank. Cover the entire back half of the bottom with like barrels or potted plant holders or just any kind of decoration you can get. I got you, Tracy. Just pack them in there so there's room in between each decoration too. That's what we do. And our 1,800-gallon cichlid tank has got mega amounts of cichlids, and you see babies from like a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, inch and a half. They're all in there. So, and we feed them daily. So, there's nothing we can, sometimes twice a day. We don't keep them hungry because they will go after the little ones, So,
Fishing with Dano says, hey fellas, scooped up a nice fire eel today. He's about 12 inches and tossed them in with my cichlids. Is there any worry about them getting stuck in the rocks? Any other advice? What's the growth rate? So
growth rate is, go ahead.
You can answer it.
No, I heard you start. You go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to turn over a new leaf here.
So the fire eels are very slow growers, but here's the thing with them. If you get them onto a strictly protein diet, shrimp, tilapia, maybe even, high protein pellet food.
Beef hearts, anything like that.
Yeah, if you can get them on that type of food and get them fat and keep them packed full, they're going to grow at an extremely fast rate for a fire eel. But most of the time, they will only eat worms for the first, couple years of their life. They're picky eaters. They really don't want to, come out and feed. They're only coming out at nighttime. So if you break the habit when they're young, it'll be easier for you along the way. I grew out a little 4 or 5 inch fire eel to about 15 inches. And I was down at school for 2 semesters. So in 8 months, he went from a small little 5 inch to a 15 inch fish. And for some, that would be pretty fast.
That's pretty fast. Yeah.
But I would also worry about any small holes that he can get out of. If he can burrow,
Definitely cover your tank.
if he can burrow behind any decoration, he's absolutely going to. He will hide in the gravel substrate, to where if there's any risk of something falling on him and trapping him, that is always a possibility. But if there's just big rocks sitting there, you don't really have to worry about them. Bill Collins says, what happened to the electric catfish Josh showed on his TikTok? He's still out there in the rack tanks. Not really sure what I'm going to do with him yet. He's kind of boring. I thought about doing another tank for him and having Tesla and the electric catfish on display. But again, that's another fish with a single tank, and we want to try and get away from that. We already have the ABBA, the Amara, the Puffer.
Flower horn.
Yeah, it's
Electric eel.
Yeah. The dolphin.
Right. And we're not set up to have one tank per fish all over the place. So it's rough for us. I mean, who runs out of room in 200,000 gallons? We did. You know what I'm saying?
I'm probably going to end up finding him a home, but it's got to be with the right care.
Right. There you go.
Hamburglar? Oh. David Donna says, how big of a filter for a 600-gallon lightly stocked African cichlid tank?
I'm going to say, I'm going to hold up 2 fingers. Or I take it.
Two fingers.
Never mind. I was going to say, I'll have my opinion. You have yours. I would say 2 FX5s would be fine. FX6s, FX4s, whatever you want in there. Would be fine for a 600 lightly stocked.
If it's super lightly stocked and you don't feed that much, but
Good.
for an FX5 is, truly rated for about 180 gallons. So by that calculation, I'd run at least 3.
Because they want 4 times per hour turnover.
Yeah.
We get away with less because we got less stock on a 1,000-gallon tank. We don't have that much in there. Something like that. So we get away with less, and we have a pass-through, so we go with less.
I've got 2 FX6s and 2 big sponge filters on our Stingray 600-gallon tank, and it ain't enough. I'm constantly fighting
that's
bio-
overstocked.
Yeah, but we also got pass-through water going through it. So what I want to do for that tank is add on another FX filter. I want to double the water passing through it. And
Finally, our pool is too high of the water coming in.
I told you that yesterday.
Our 3,000-gallon flooded today because you're relying on the overflow that's on the 3,000, and it goes from a 1-inch hose to a 3/4-inch hose, and it always blocks up.
That one should not be relied on. That is there for backup.
Right. I've been wanting you to open up the water going out so it's passed through our 3,000 and then out. It's coming back into our pool and making our water dirtier, and that keeps getting plugged up. And we have to constantly deal with the floods. I shut off one of the lines coming in, the black line, to the 3,000, and I turned down the yellow hose coming in.
The yellow can be taken off completely. That second hose can be taken off completely, and it can go back to its
I
original.
just want more going out. I don't want to rely on the overflow going back to the pond. I'd rather have more going out. Because I'm tired of this tank. I go out there, or Hoover says there's a leak, and I go out there, and the first thing I see is the 3,000, and I see drips coming off the top. It's filled to the top and then over going the top. I'm so tired of this tank doing this.
Well, I'll put it back to the way it was, but that's not a true way to fix it. Both of those lines get plugged up from food because Mpacus are dirty and have big poops.
What we need to do is put an overflow on the far side, and no matter how much water we got coming in, it'll overflow and fall out.
Mm-hmm.
So like a bulkhead or even a tub inside, a U channel going to the outside, whatever, I'm saying one way or another, the water needs to fall out of that tank. So no matter how full it gets, it always goes out. So if we need to clean it up, we can turn on the second hose and clean it up. You know what I'm saying? So I need that done. I'm tired of waiting and asking and all this stuff. You need to get in there and we need to get that done. And that interior overflow should only be for a backup, because that's bringing our dirty water back to our clean water, you know? I'd rather it just be a pass-through for that 3,000.
All right, Jim Sheasley, $10. I'm trying to get a
You
baby.
hear him ignore me? He just straight ignored me. You saw that, right?
Trying to get a baby red devil to grow up with a flower horn. Both about 2 inches long. I have a divider in place now. How long should I just keep them separate? That would depend on the fish. You could try it now. Drying it young would always be better. They get used to each other. So, but you know, at the same time, red devils can be jerks. Flower horns can also be jerks. So I would just go ahead and take the divider out after you feed them, of course. And let's see how it goes. Where are we at? I can't see what you're.
Highlight.
Yes. Hard to read when you highlight crap. How big do golden green severums and chocolate cichlids supposed to get? They can get about a foot long. 10 or so inches on the chocolate cichlid.
OBG boss just says, "Uh-oh." That's just getting talking to. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to sound like that.
You're gonna get a talking to after the stream.
Oh no!
Because ain't no one ask or talk about it. This is the first I'm hearing of you want to change the overflow on that thing.
Oh no! I said many times before that I'm tired of that thing backing up. We just need a bigger overflow out.
I'm the one who's been saying I wanted to cut that little rink-a-dink 3/4 overflow out and upsize it.
No, you were talking. You wanted to put from a 3/4 inch pipe to a 1 inch hose going over it, and then drill a hole through the wall going back to the pond. That still gives our dirty water coming back to our clean water. I wanted any water going into the 3,000 pass throughs and goes out to the drain. Period. That's what I wanted. Yep.
I just don't. Ain't gonna
See, he's
fly
arguing
with
with me again.
Ain't gonna fly.
It will. Our pool is too high. We got too much water coming in and not enough water going out. Our 2,200 could stand a little bit more water going through it. It's cloudy right now. The only tank out there cloudy is the 2,200, and that's the last tank on that line. It could stand more water. You want more water on the 600 gallon? We could do that too. I want more water on the 3,000.
What I'm going to do, but the thing is, where we were 6 months ago, we were dripping in about 2,000 gallons a day. Now we're dripping in about 4. Yeah, we are.
He told me you turned that back down after the rays left.
I have not yet.
Well, you need to, because I am scampering all the time trying to get rid of this extra water. So that's why I don't want it to mix back to our water. I want it to go through and out.
Whatever, I'll fix it.
Yeah, whatever you do. That's my boy. You see him just brush me off.
But we also added the double pump up to the 4,000 to have more water going through that and back to the pond. I mean, realistically, all these tanks should have 3-4 times the water volume going through them and coming back. Still have individual filtration and going back
and then
to
still
the pond.
Water passing through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where it really wouldn't matter where the drain is.
In other words, a 4,400 tank should have 4, 8, 12, 13,000 gallons per hour passing through it. The 3,000 gallon tank should have 12,000 gallons per hour passing through it. You know, our return rate through the filter back to the tank. And we are shy on a lot of them because we have water passing through. So in other words, here's the difference. If we feed the 3,000, it takes it maybe 4 hours to come back from being cloudy, but the sump will return from being cloudy in like 20 minutes. You know, so we throw in so much food in there and the water gets cloudy. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Shrimp and tilapia, 12, 14 pounds a day, it gets cloudy. And then 4 hours later, it's cleared back up. Now, the only thing we can do is double our energy consumption and put more pumps on it running through more filtration. We don't want that. We just want a more pass through running through, and you know.
Code man said, "Who's the young guy on the stream?" He's been watching for about 2 years. If you've been watching for about 2 years, there's 400 videos made by him, 400 videos made by me.
This is true.
Uh,
I thought he was talking about me when he said young guy.
Yeah, you can't mistake that. There's no way.
Bruce614 says that the dolphin cat doing good. He looks awesome. The dolphin cat's doing fine. That's probably another one I might end up rehoming or not. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, in the last video I moved him into the 1,000, and the what's his name? The Braycon Dentex had done a number on him.
Oh,
and
so
I went
tired of that
ahead
fish.
and got that fish out of the tank. I seen bites on the Tigrinus. I seen bites on there was something else in there. Oh, the albino Pangasius we just input. So he's just been giving us hassles in that tank. So we decided to remove him. What else do we have here?
Oh, I looked up today on our what do you call that? You can look up your channel. Oh, analytics.
Analytics, yes.
Analytics. I looked up on there today and found out that we only have 10% of our following. Out of 150,000 followers, we only have 15,000 people that are actually hooked up and getting notifications. So I don't know why, and I know we've had a lot of problems in the last 3 months of people saying they're not getting notifications. All I can say is go hit that notification bar, unclick it, and then hit it again and click back in, because YouTube's saying there's only 10% people that are notified. That's it. Out of 150,000, they're only notifying 10% of that. If people would also know that we put out a video every day. If you don't see a video from the main channel, go to the second channel. If the second channel, OFR Behind the Scenes, isn't put out a video, then it's on the main channel. We never miss a video. Everybody here can attest to it. We are there every single day, one channel or the other.
Someone asked who's going to have their baby first, the Stingray or Brittany?
I would say Brittany for sure.
So my next video that's coming
a little
out,
bigger than the Stingray.
my next video that's coming out will actually feature that Ray and where we ended up moving her so she could have her pups.
In
So,
peace.
we shall see. What size tank do I need for 2 to 3 female stingrays?
Depends on what kind of stingrays.
Yeah,
How
but
much you
I
feed
mean, majority of them get around 30 inches or so. For three of them, it all depends on footprint. To be honest, the bit bigger footprint, the better. But I'd say a minimum for 3 stingrays would be, 1,500 gallons. You want 500 gallons per ray when they're full grown. But like I said,
We've got that 2,500 gallon pond, and we've got what?
5.
5 in there?
Mm-hmm. Aaron Cazzoli says Josh was a big part of OFR in 2019. How about the years prior? How about
The years
2020,
after.
2021, 2022?
He puts out as many videos as I do. Okay, Sky Zimmerman says, I have had my red tail with my Oscar for quite some time. Red tail is about 1.5 foot, 2 foot. Oscar is pretty big. They get along very well. It's a matter of time before my red tail swallows him. Not really. If you're keeping your red tail fed and he's not used to seeing the Oscar as food, you can keep them together for a long time. When he gets like 3 foot and the Oscar is only, 10, 12 inches, I would worry, but I wouldn't worry until that time. Because, Oscar sideways laying down that's 12 inches, laying down, he's about 8 inches tall, you know, from bottom to top. And that catfish's mouth has to be that wide to be able to swallow him. And as long as you don't starve him, you shouldn't have a problem.
I've been running sponge filters as extra filtration, but I'm always curious how much gallon per hour the sponges actually move. Are they better than internal fit filters? So sponge filters are great. They are not the save all. They're great for quarantine tanks and short term. Like the sponges in our Stingray tank, they're absolutely terrible. You've got big fish waste. I'm cleaning them sponges like every 5 days, and they're absolutely filthy. So we put them on there as a way to supplement our filtration, just to get more mechanical filtration on them.
And that's what we need mostly is mechanical filtration. We've got enough biological and pass through that they're good for that. We need mechanical. When you see things with particulates in the water and it ain't clear, that's mechanical. You know, if you smell a smell, that's biological. If you're high nitrites, that's all biological. So you got to decide what you need. There's three types of filtration. You got biological, mechanical should always be first. So chemical, mechanical, biological, and then chemical. We haven't used charcoal in the last 10 years, but a lot of people use it. But to me, that masks, it's a Band-Aid over the problem. If your water smells, then your biological filtration ain't up to par. And then the people use the chemical to take out the smell, the charcoal and stuff. But the charcoal also takes out medicines and water and that kind of stuff. So we just never use it. Our filtration, people are amazed when they come here and they're like, oh my God, I thought you'd smell like a pet store or fishy or something. And it just don't. So, you know, if you've got your filtration right, enough bacterial and enough chemical or mechanical, why do I keep doing that? You should be good. Mechanical first to remove the stuff, and then biological to remove to turn your nitrites into nitrates, to turn your nitrates into, to turn your ammonia into nitrites, your nitrites into nitrates, and then nitrates are removed by doing water changes. Okay. Marie Dean says, I've heard of the curly shuffle. Now there's the Hoover hustle. You got the Hoover hustle going on?
Another question about male rays. Yes, you could have a problem with keeping male rays together. They will fight. If there's females involved, they will fight over the females. If they're just males, it's possible you can put them in there and they will get along. But you could also, you know, have them terrorizing each other. So I'd advise against it, or just keep a close watch.
All right. This one here is Art May says, I got a question for you, Bigrich. What kind of catfish is in the big swimming pool? And I'm from Millfield, Ohio. Stay fishy, my friends. Well, Art, there is red tails, tiger shovelnose, red tail mixes, a characat red tail mixes. There is what's the other ones? Not the Irweenies, Niger cats, or Ripsaw.
Not my weenie.
Megalodorus Irweenie. Stop it! Oh my God, this kid still hasn't grown up. He's got a family of his own almost, and he still hasn't grown up.
What do you say, weenie?
You stop it.
So for the people that keep asking about the rescue videos put out on Reap and Hoover that did the other day with the police involved, like I said, we're not going to discuss that.
Well, we can just give the details out.
The fish are doing great,
right?
Doing good. But
that was a raid in Mogador, Ohio, and the animal control was called in, and they said that the animals weren't taken care of up to par, and they called in Herps Alive, came and took all the reptiles and animals, and they called Ohio Fish Rescue in to take all the fish and, take care of that kind of stuff. So we worked with the Portage County Animal Control or Humane Society.
Humane Society.
And we got all the fish out of there, and they're here now, and they will be going up for adoption soon. They are being treated and going through quarantine right now. So, that's what we know. And I'm just excited that another county from someplace else an hour away is like, hey, we need to call Ohio Fish Rescue. Great, that's what everywhere needs to know.
Is it odd that the police officer took the koi fish? And that's the problem with our society. These cops think that they can just take whatever that they want.
Well, I'm not going to side against cops. I am totally on the page that cops have too much authority and they have a God complex sometimes. Not all cops. I have a lot of police officer buddies and friends and police officers that we've rescued from, and they were the nicest people ever. But I've noticed when I get pulled over, they got their hand on their gun. Why is that? I don't understand that, so it's just, it's a political thing. We're not going to talk about that, but in that situation, the Humane Society made a deal to the owner. We're going to charge you with these illegal animals because he had 2 alligators there, which are illegal, and they could have charged them with a felony unless you give up all the animals to where we can take them and give them to good homes. The homeowner decided to go ahead and take that route. So at this point, the fish, the animals were all going to different rescues. One of the police officers had a big koi pond and took the one koi. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not, I don't see nothing illegal with it. It's the guy signed over all of his fish, all of his animals, all of his reptiles. So at that point, now it's on the Humane Society to find homes for it. Well, they called in Herbs Alive to find homes for these animals. They called in, that's that place. And they called in Ohio Fish Rescue.
Well, let's put it this way. Say if for some reason that these animals are taken and they should not have, and now they have to provide documentation on where all these animals went. Now Herbs Alive says, oh, we rehomed this to them, this to that person, this one died, which some of the animals they took died.
Well, we know the snake died.
Mm-hmm.
The one snake.
But they'll have documentation on it. It's like, oh, well, where's the koi? And then they find out the officer took it. He can actually get in trouble for that.
I don't think so, because the homeowner signed over all of his animals. Now it's on animal control to find a home, and they had someone that had a koi pond. The koi was only 8 inches. It wasn't
the koi was probably about that big.
10 inches.
Yeah,
okay.
about like that.
It wasn't like it was a great big expensive thing, and he's like, well, I can take that to my house. That's the police officer helping. It ain't like we're in here taking everything and you can't find it. No, he signed over all of his animals first, so nobody's done anything wrong. And there's a lot of controversy on this whole, bust and stuff like that. Were the animals mistreated? Did they need to be taken? All that kind of stuff. And, you see a lot of, if you go and look, you'll see a lot of pictures of different things, So, I don't want to, I'm going to pull that bitch move. I want to stay out of it. Okay. We did what we did to help what we can. You know what I'm saying? The homeowner did assign away his rights to all the animals, so he actually didn't get charged. They, let all that go, and everybody's happy. The Humane Society's happy that the animals are now getting better taken care of than they were, and that's the bottom line, right? That's the bottom line. So they're getting taken care of, and everything's fine. That's the bottom line. Let's not look for trouble where it shouldn't be trouble.
We've got Kathy Aponte with a super chat I missed. $5 says the frontosa you gave me are growing fast. They are so beautiful.
Are they?
How big do they get? Miss you guys.
You can get up to about 13 inches.
I've seen some up to 18. The big ones.
Yeah, what's to say? There's 17 different types of frontosa. Which one did we give her? I don't know, but usually the main thing is 12, 13 inches. They shouldn't get no bigger than that. And thank you for taking care of them. That's all we wanted. That's what we wanted when we found a home, and you promised you'd give him a good home, and he's got a good home. I like that. So thank you, Kathy.
We've got Mark Lane, $10 says, hi from Germany, guys. Just wondering what the plan for the snow globe tank is and how's Larry the Lobster. Hashtag OFR Rocks, hashtag Team Tracy.
Well, the snow globe is such a pain tank to take care of. So we emptied it out, and it's full of chlorinated water now, trying to clean off the inside algae because it's so hard to scrape and clean. You can't put a razor blade in there. You can't put you got to put a magnet in there, and then the magnet only wants to touch its four corners. So I have to put like a half-inch piece of foam in there and put the magnet on there, and now it wants to fall off the outside magnet all the time. So that 4-inch piece of foam contours to the roundness, and you go up and down, and it's such a pain in the butt. I would never tell anyone to get a globe tank. My idea is have chlorinated water and just add chlorine to it so it looks pristine and beautifully clean, and put some fake fish in it, maybe some of them fake jellyfish, and so the tank looks nice. I don't want to get rid of the tank because it is one of the tanks on the show tanked. It was double purpose. It was the gumball machine tank, and it was also the snow globe tank. So I don't want to get rid of it because that's a piece of history and TV paraphernalia type stuff. Or not, what do you call it? Not paraphernalia, memorabilia. So I don't want to get rid of the tank, but I don't want to put any more fish in there. So it's too hard to take care of. I'd rather once a week throw a couple specks of chlorine in there from the pool, or the way a normal pool is taken care of with chlorine. So I would just like it to look nice and no fish. I would not put no fish back in there. We do have, 4 crayfish now?
Something like that.
The blue one, 2 white ones, and a red one, right?
There's I think 3 white ones, 1 red one, and 1 blue one, or something like that.
So they're all doing good and doing great. And, the blue one was Larry. So, they're all getting along great. And, we just got to throw them food. And, they're so easy to take care of. Okay, what's next?
Someone said if you have one male and female flower worm, will you breed them? No.
We never try and breed.
Except stingrays.
Breeding does happen. Well, stingrays is I sold all my breeder stingrays to start this rescue. I sold my 4 macaws to start this rescue. I sold we had a bunch of different animals and stuff. I sold everything to start this rescue. We don't try and breed anything except stingrays, because that'll help support the rescue. Now, how many stingrays have we rescued over the years? Not many. So us breeding stingrays is not adding to the problem. Stingrays are a high demand animal, and we have the cream of the crop, the black diamond stingrays. Now, the only thing more expensive than them is the albinos, or your, platinum type stingrays, or the new big spot white diamond stingrays. So, if we can get ours to breed and then have babies, we can sell that off and buy stuff for the rescue. That was my only thought on that. We're not hurting the problem. We're not, furthering the problem, because stingrays are not a big rescue item. Every once in a while we may rescue one because somebody can't take care of it and they want to give it to us because then they can watch it grow and see it on the rescue. If they sell it, they'll never see it again, that type of stuff. So we don't try and promote breeding to any fish that we have. It does happen. We've had many different fish breed, but that's only because of good water quality and, the husbandry that we do try. But we don't set them up for it. We don't try and force it. We don't, let's put these 2 together in that tank and put a dish on the ground because that's where they'll lay their eggs. We don't try and force any of that. If it happens, it happens. And then we find them homes. It's not a big deal. It's okay. How's that? Cool.
Where we at? Just had a question. You got 2 big black belts in the big tank. How big are they? Yes, we do. They're probably about 12 inches. Yeah.
We've had bigger, but they're now about 12 inches. We had the Mila Schimberke, and those guys were like big, huge dinner plate, like 15 inches across. And we had,
Not even the same type of fish.
I know, but they're in the same type of species. They only get about the same size normally, you know.
One's a South American.
Stop it. I'm saying they only get about yay big. Ours were big and they passed away. And, you know, it's just, it bothers
sleep
me.
over there.
Hey, Rich.
You leave me alone.
Hey, Rich. No, you know I'm a man with 1,000 names.
Wait, you do know that I'm your backup for babysitting, right?
What?
So you leave me alone.
What do you mean babysitting? I've been babysitting.
He's going to have a baby girl here really soon, and I'm the one trusted to watch her when, you know, I didn't trust anybody to watch my kids. You knew I was over there in the neighborhood.
Trust him to watch your daughter.
Of course.
Ain't gonna need no one to watch the kids. We'll see.
How many you plan on having?
2. As long as I get a boy and a girl, then I'm done. Snip,
Junior.
snip. Yep, snip, snip.
Now, what do you do if you have something that you wasn't planning? What are you going to do then?
Then I try
You
again.
going to have 4 or 5?
Then I try again.
Or what are you trying to get, a baseball team?
I want a boy. Someone's asking, is it easy to build a tank like the 3000? If done properly, it takes a lot of time,
But easy.
it's pretty easy if you are, you know, somewhat, what I want to say,
we put out a video on
go with
building that.
your hands, I guess.
Yeah. Handy. We put out a video on how to make that, and it's very easy, and what products to use. And because when we made it, we had so many people telling us this and that, and we do not endorse nor will ever use Pond Armor, and what's the other one? It was the same stuff.
There's sweet water, but that's not
It
bad.
was Pond Armor and something else, and it was just everything we used it on has failed. So we gave you how to build a tank, you know, how many, you know, inches apart each board should be for this height and all that. We look up on there for the 3,000 gallon build. We tell you everything, how to build it, what we use to seal the tank is what Ohio uses to seal the steel bridges, and it is completely fish safe. So,
After it dries.
right. Well, true, but it dries soon, and it stays pliable. It never cracks like Pond Armor did. It was terrible.
Someone's asking, can you put the goonch in the 4400? I would probably never do that. It would be cool. I potentially could, but that goonch is so fun to feed. So I want him, you know, front and center. Everyone can see him. Everyone can visit him, and I can still get cool, you know, feeding with
And videos.
Mm-hmm.
If we put him in the pond, you'll hardly ever see him.
Same thing with the 4400. He'll be hiding behind the rocks, and you'll never see him. What happened to the albino pacu? The albino pacu is in quarantine right now. It's the only one that
basically
we
just
have.
came in like four days ago.
Yeah, we haven't had an albino pacu since ours died. So this is the first one that we've gotten back.
And see, that's where we got screwed too, because we had 3 albino pacu.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, well, we just need the one. We don't need a lot of pacu. We gave 2 away to public aquariums, and then, you know, within a year and a half or something like that, our albino pacu died, and we haven't had a nice big albino since.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got one, and you know, I don't know.
What's the thickness of the glass on the 3000? 3/4 inch thick. But it doesn't really matter about the length as much as the height of the glass. So, you know, at 40 inches tall, we only went 3/4 of an inch. You don't really want to go. You can go 4 foot, but then you're getting into designing the tank to kind of take that load of the front panel. 4 foot's the absolute max. Anything above that, the glass will end up breaking in time.
Right. Now you can build a 6,000 gallon tank and have your 40-inch piece of glass at the very top and have it 7 foot deep. You know, your wood would have to be
50 foot long and
Right.
20 foot wide,
Right.
and you can have it 3-foot tall tank.
It's the depth of the pressure that considers how thick your glass has to be. Like our 4400, that's 6 foot tall, and that's what, 3 inches, 2 3/4.
Yeah, it's 2.5, I think. You talking about the full 4400?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's 2.5.
I think it's 2 3/4, but that's okay. It's
There's
close.
a question up there.
Holden says, Josh, you're gonna keep the Oscars that just came into the 4400, so they're the new Oscars. No, I only decided to keep the one Oscar, and that was the super nice veil tail. I rehomed the rest. As soon as the Oscars die in the 4400, that's probably gonna be it on the Oscars in the 4400. We'll just keep our veil tail and the albinos. And, as stuff gets older and they die off, we just, start phasing through our collection. New fish will take over that tank. They'll have new centerpieces and new faces in there. And that's how we keep on going. Just because, something passes away doesn't mean we have to hurry up and stick something like that in the tank again.
Where is the Shut Up Roger t-shirt? It was always on your chair.
Good question.
It's still hanging there, ain't it?
No.
Look
Someone
under the
took it.
table.
I don't see it. Someone took my shirt. Or it's on the shelf here somewhere. I don't know. We'll find it later. We got 8 more minutes.
Wait, what is this here? Shalala Harrison, hi Shay. She says, "How's Thanos?" But hey, where have you been? You came around. You were the one of the best the volunteers ever, and I haven't heard from you since.
Hang on, I just skipped a question. I don't know. I can't find it.
Somebody asked how many cichlids is in the big tank behind you.
Oh, geez, we don't even know. There were 300 when we put them in there, and that was, what, 2 years ago? And now there's so many more. Who knows? But there's no way to count that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Favilla Porter says, Reaper said that Pacu was going in the 4400, but I thought all Pacu was going in the 3000. That is correct.
Right, but it's also albino. It might go into 2200 because he's not that big yet.
No.
We don't know where until.
Can't go in there.
Why can't he?
There is airlines in the 22.
Oh yeah, airlines. See,
There is power cords.
There's a whole reason why
Catfish.
there's
whiskers.
no Pacu in the pool pond because of underwater lights with cords, underwater power heads, airlines, all that kind of stuff. The Pacu will bite them. So we do have airlines, underwater power heads in the 2200. So yes, I was thinking just because it's albino, he could go in there. But no, we can't go in there because then we'd have to remove a bunch of stuff that we're used to having in there. So the Pacu tank is made for, there's nothing in there they can bite or destroy. We did have our albino Pacu in the 4400 before. He can actually go in there.
There's cords and pumps in there again.
We do have pumps in there again. So yeah, he's most likely going to go into the 3000 Pacu tank.
And there's actually 2 Pacu in there. Well, one we're giving the rod. That's going to be the smallest tambiki in there. And then we've got a
Well, we've got 3 of those, right? The true black Pacu.
Mm-hmm.
So we're giving one to Rod.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got a red belly that we can rehome.
Well, when we go to New Jersey, we can stop and drop them off to Rod. The Stingray that we missed, there was a Stingray hiding under our wet dry filter that we missed, and so we got that's still Rod's, or I'm sorry, Kevin Wise, and we've got the Tambiki, the black Pacu that we told him we'd give him. So those 2 can be dropped off to him when we go on that trip.
Lewis Woods, $5 says, "Hey Josh, I have an 18-inch fire eel that will only eat worms or live river shrimp. What's the best way to get him on frozen prawn?" So here's the thing with the fire eels and getting them off of live. The best thing to get a eel off of live, and any fish for that matter, is competition. You put another fish in there that absolutely destroys the food you're trying to feed it. Usually works like a charm for me. They see the other fish going down and getting it, and they want to go down and get it before the other fish can get it. What worked recently with my tiger fish, the armadas, and those ones are usually hard ones to get off of live.
And you do have to do a certain amount of starving. And then we've even gone to the extreme of tying shrimp onto fishing line and dangling it past them and swimming past them and bringing it back to get them to strike on it, like armadas and stuff.
Also, with the eels, if you take, shrimp or tilapia and you cut them in like long strings, and they'll kind of imitate a worm. So when you put them in there, the current blows, they'll just blow strings of shrimp or tilapia in there. And that could also work for you too. Someone asked if the Stingray offspring are purebred or a hybrid. It is a hybrid between a super spot Bosmani, which carries the bat ray recessive gene, and Kevin Wise male. So,
which was the best looking male we've had as a black diamond.
Yep. So they will be beautiful pups. And hopefully we get a bat ray. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be really cool.
People are asking about the saltwater tank and when they could expect it.
Okay, that's on me. I get to it when I can. You know, we just recently painted it. I cut the holes in the wood and we mounted some things in there. I have to finish that. That's secondary because the saltwater fish and the corals are doing fine where they're at. So it's not a thing that I have to hurry up to. Josh is on my butt because I got to finish that saltwater to get the old saltwater tank out of the way, to get the Dwight Howard tank moved in, to get the 1,000-gallon from the front moved into where the Dwight Howard tank is now. So yes, it is sort of a hurry, but I've got so much other things. We've had so many things pop up. You know, we didn't think Rod was actually coming this time, and he showed up. But we had to. That week was busy doing stuff, you know. And then after that, we had what?
Sue Ann says, "Uh-oh, gonna have to start calling you Slow Rich."
Oh my God. Sue Ann, thought you was my friend.
I mean, we do always rag on Slow Joe.
But here's the thing. I have a list to do, okay? And on this list to do, work list, I have to go through every day and put what's more important. Like right now, I got to finish getting rents from 2023 and West 46 down. Me and Hoover had to tie up the white tarp, that side building on the side, because we have an inspector coming by about the trees in the back. You haven't heard that yet. That'll be on tomorrow's video. So we had to fix all that and then clean the whole side of the house to where it looks clean. We put away the blue tub. We picked up all the rocks. We moved trailers, all kinds of stuff. So, you know, every day something else is more important. So now I've got to move my lot markers and tie a string between them to show that this tree is not actually on my property, because the guy behind us called the city on us and wants me to cut it down at my cost. And I told him, that's half on your property, that's half on my property. I'll split it with you if you want it done. I don't want it done. I don't care. It's fine for me, you know. He goes, well, it's a danger. It could fall in my barn. Whatever. I'll split it with you. He says no. He went and called the city. Now the city gave me a thing. I've got, 10 days to, comply by it. So now I called the city inspector today and told him I paid $750 for a survey of my property, and I've got the lines marked, and, I'm going to tie a string between the two property corners, and you'll see how little of this tree is actually on my land, and it's on his land. And then I've already tried working with him, saying that I would split the cost with him, and he said no.
You already paid to have the tree trimmed that was leaning over.
I trimmed a 40-foot long branch hanging over his yard at our cost, and I'm not doing it again. I'm not having somebody use us and take advantage of us like this. So now I told the inspector that this is not on our property. Well, watch tomorrow's video. It will be on there. But anyways, then I've got I've got to go pick up 100 cichlids tomorrow. I've got to cut 2 more trees next to it that he marked that are on my property. I have to cut them down. We have to go up to 2019, which is one of my properties, and scrape the basement walls and recover it with kills. I have to paint the porch on the property in 2023. I have to remove the back deck because the back deck was built on top of the back enclosed deck on 2023, one of my properties. And now it's leaking and the wood is rotten. So the only way we can fix it is remove the deck up top, take off all the shingles, replace the plywood, put new shingles on. This all has to be done. I mean, I can't, it just came to me when we rented the property out. So I've got to get the metal welded to fix the 2,000-gallon tank. It's still not up and running. The back deck. Remember, I was working on the tiki area. I've got one more 15-foot spot. I got to staple the fencing up. We still got to build the river over the bridge. And then I made the electrical plans for the back deck. So I've got 3 fans, 2 lights, 1 pond plug on the left side, 1 pond plug on the right side. Because we can't plug no more anything into the back pond. It trips the breaker of the plugs we're already using. So I need to run new electric out there with a sub panel going to all this stuff. So we've got that. Let me see. We have to make the mermaid video. Build the turtle enclosure. We were supposed to do that at the beginning of summer. It keeps getting put off. I mean, my list to do changes daily, and the saltwater tank is not a mandatory. We have to get to it right now. You know, like if Josh said, I have 11 people coming over this weekend. We need to move that tank. That's what they're coming for. I will have to. That's all you had to do. I will have to get this done before they get here because we have people coming over.
I've got 11 people coming over.
You're a liar, sir. All right, what else we do?
It's actually 7:30. So with that being said, I was gonna wait till you finished your little story, your little hoorah, let you vent to your people a little bit, and we were gonna say.
I thought we'd go to 8.
Week. No, 7:30.
Do you guys want it to go back to 8 or 7:30? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You can leave at 7:30.
That's on you, buddy. All right. See you guys. I got something to
Oh,
do.
you stop it.
I'm being serious.
It's not 7:30 yet.
It's 7:33.
Oh my God. Over.
He's got it down to a T.
Yeah. I never had a problem with going to 8. I loved going to 8. You know, it was a great time. See, everybody's saying 8. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, we can go to 8 then.
9. Hey, Josh, how about every week you leave at 7:30 and we'll keep going to 8?
I don't know. I got to be up at 1 o'clock. I'll stay to 8. I get up at 1 in the morning, be ready for Reaper, go on this trip.
Oh, is that why you did it?
Yeah.
He said it affected the analytics. I don't know. Michelle L says 9.
Thank you, Hoover. Please sleep.
Andy, him and Hoover, or him and Reaper are leaving tonight at 2 o'clock in the morning to go to Iowa.
Look at that.
Sue Ann says, bye, Josh. Rich and Hoop, stick around. Look how many 8s are here.
Look,
oh, my
Hoover,
God.
Hoover can be the replacement host.
You look like Josh, too. Oh, my goodness. All right. You guys want to stay to 8? I'll stay to 8. I had no problem with it before because I love hanging out with you guys every Friday night. You know, I've told you before, this is my time to, like, you know, everybody else works all week. Let's go to the bar on Fridays. I don't get to. I work 16 hours a day taking care of Tracy. Mara's here from 8 in the morning until 4. I get to sleep from 8:30 until about 11:30, sometimes noon. And a lot of times lately, I have not been able to do that, have I?
No.
No. So, and then I'm up doing stuff around the rescue until 4 where I got to take over with Tracy. So my only time getting to have a little bit of fun is Friday nights with you guys. And I love hanging out with you guys. You're like my bar crowd.
Somebody said, where at in Iowa are we going?
I I don't know.
We just got an address.
Well, no, I didn't. I wasn't part of that. It was something Josh set up.
Oh, yeah.
Sent the address to Reaper, so I know nothing about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. All we got is an address.
I added on this right here. Let me go to rescues. Onto the trip. A buddy of ours called Wes has a big Temensis, a tiger shovel nose, a vulture catfish, a giant gourami, a tropical gar, a sailfin pleco, and it's along the lines on the way back. When they pass through Chicago, this is 20 minutes south of the highway and get back on. So they can stop and pick this stuff up. That's what I added to the rescue. And then, they've got their stop in Iowa and then a stop on, was it Michigan? I
think Michigan was
30 minutes north,
Yeah.
and then grab that and then come home. So,
that was the third stop, yeah.
Third stop, right. Reaper's going to be wore out because, Hoover can't drive. He don't have a license, up here. He has a license from, was it Tennessee or Kentucky?
Tennessee, but they're suspended.
Oh, he has suspended license from Tennessee. Oh, you're a funny man. Who's this? Jay Mahaja says it's 5 a.m. in the morning in India and you're watching? Amazing. Thank you. Where in Iowa are you going? Chris Trapp said that. We don't know. I'll announce it, as I find out. Reaper will be here later tonight. I'll find out all the specifics and I'll announce it online, tomorrow. So watch on the Facebook pages. Hoover looks just like a Josh.
No, my name's Earl. I told you I'm a man with many names.
Kyle Hernandez says, "What's up, guys? Where's Bathroom Corey? He showed up here. What was it? About 3 weeks ago, and helped us move a tank. Haven't seen from him since. I sent him a message because he's also an electrician. I sent him a message, and I'm like, look, I figured out all the routes I need on the back deck. You need this many plugs for these appliances. I need 3 ceiling fans. I need lights. I need a plug out here for the pond, a plug over here for the pond." And he's going to give me he's supposed to show up and give me a list of things I need to buy for us to do that. Like, we need so much of, our Romex or, PVC plastic that we have to have the wires in or whatever. I don't know. So, he's going to show back up and give me that list. We'll buy all that and then we'll run the electric out there. That way our pond can now be on its own electric on a breaker that a sub panel that we have control from right outside the door of the back deck. And it won't be running off of our plugs that are running from the breakers that we have now that keep tripping every once in a while. Mike Strombaugh says, "Bigrich, I want to see another night like the drinking out of the toilet paper roll." Laugh out loud. That was classic. Hey, when you miss as much sleep as I miss, and then you start catching a little buzz from alcohol, which is a downer, you are straight, just down and out. You're ready to go to bed. And I couldn't find my cup. Where is it? That toilet roll paper looked like a cup. And I tipped it up and I'm like, there's nothing coming out. I'm trying to. And everybody, they took pictures, still shots of me trying to drink out of the toilet paper roll. And the next day had it all over Facebook. It was horrible. It was comical, but horrible. Kyle Hernandez says, "Is the 500-gallon cube where the sandfall once was, did it get taken out?" Yes. The pump I had running it took a dump, and we were now putting in South American cichlids. We needed the room, not the sandfall. So, and also the cichlids we put in there took all the sand out of the sandfall and put it into the gravel. So we just removed it. It's easier that way. I can put a new pump on it and put it somewhere else, but we need it where no cichlid or no fish will move the sand out of it and try and burrow in there, that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of thought process goes in something like that.
Did he get that guy up top there? Who? Up top, up there in the green.
That I don't know. If this was said before, I don't know. $5 from Mark Lane says, glad you're live a little longer. Hoover is a great stand-in for Josh. It's 1:30 here in Germany. You were live in India. Hashtag respect. 5 o'clock in the morning. That's some hardcore, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I set my alarm for 4:30 in the morning and actually get up to watch
Yeah.
the show. Yeah.
Unless you got your days set as nights,
Right.
you know.
Marie Dean says, see you next week, Daddy Josh. Sean says, is Joey still coming for a visit? Yes, he is. And we've got a surprise for you guys about that. So he is definitely coming. All right, Jay, what does that say? Maharaja says, yay, Bigrich, read my comment. I take my unofficial management lessons from you, Bigrich. Well, thank you. I do micromanage everybody and tell them what to do. But see, what people don't understand, if I came to your house and you're like, I need this fridge moved, all right, and you've done it 17 times, okay, pick up, guys. You can't slide it. It will destroy the floor. Okay, so we're picking up. Oh, this is hard for us. We need to get a dolly in here and do it. Okay, so she tells us, lean it back. We're on the dolly. We can roll it out now. Don't hit the cabinets. Well, okay, this is her place. Of course, she's going to tell us this stuff. She cares. So I'm going to listen because I'm doing somebody else's work. You guys can't really believe that all of our volunteers that come here has done what I've done before or cares about my stuff as much as I do. So I have to tell people what to do, how to do, why to do, because they're on my property doing what I want them to do. They came here to help. So I tell them what to do. And a lot of people have a problem with that, and I don't get it because I'm like, oh, watch, guys, you can't tilt it that way. Oh, don't hit that. Okay, now let's move it on out, Okay, lay it down here. We're all going to get around it and pick it up, and we do this stuff, and we get things moved. I've handled it 1,000,000 times in the last 7 years. I've done this. I've moved in, 4,400-gallon tanks. I've moved in 2,200-gallon tanks. I've built 3,000-gallon tanks. I've moved in 1,000-gallon tanks umpteen times. I know to move it in from the back deck, we got to take the sliding door apart, take it off its rails because it's 2-3-foot doors. We got to take out both of them to have it fit through there. A lot of people don't know this. So I can have a contractor come here and he don't know what I know, that I've moved this before. So I tell him what to do. And people are like, oh, I'd never work for you, Bigrich. Well, you know what? Don't. That's all I got to say. I have to tell people how to do things because I've done it 1,000,000 times before. Now I'm older and my back hurts. I don't really move stuff. If I can carry a tank standing up, many of you guys have saw, I was on one side of a 300-gallon tank and Josh and his buddy were on the other side. I'm still a brute. I cannot bend over and pick things up. You know what I'm saying? It hurts me. My back is messed up. I need surgery. And because of the
I told you I could do surgery.
But people need to learn to be able to listen to a supervisor without getting angry. I'm not going to tell you what girlfriend to date or how to treat your girl. I'm not going to do nothing like that. I'm going to tell you how to move this at my house, and that's it. You don't like it. Sucks to be you. Oh, Tracy's choking. Or coughing. Let me soften this up. All cleared. Okay. Somebody asked, I saw it passed by, but I saw, is the Dovi still in the pool pond? Yes, we moved it from the 3,000 into the pool pond when we made the 3,000. Nothing but a Pacu tank, and we also have a huge Temensis bass in there, because all the rest of the bass are in a 1,000-gallon tank, and we can't put this 32-inch Temensis bass in with him. So he stays in the 3,000. I don't want him in the pool because he will decimate. He's lightning fast. He will eat all them cichlids, okay? That's why we don't have clown knives in there. I don't know. So there's everything that we do, we have a reason for, guys. Okay, David Donnan said, can you micromanage the globe tank? Put it upside down in the monster pond. We can do that, but within 2 weeks, it'll be covered in algae. How are you going to clean that off of that tank? That's the problem. I'm trying to tell people that tank is too hard to upkeep. It is a pain in the butt. The only way to keep the algae from growing all over it and having to do so much work to clean it is to put chlorine in there and some fake fish or a fake, scape in there to where it looks good. But we can't keep cleaning it. It's like, it's just too hard. And Fishing with Dano says, smart folks see your instructions as teaching. Yes, because if you come by here 2-3 times, you know how to do this now. You know what I'm saying? And I've done it before, so I'm sorry, but it's my stuff and it's my rescue, and I don't want it ruined. So, hey, everybody lift on 3. Don't lift on 2. Don't lift on 3 and then lift. Everybody lift 1, 2, on 3 we lift. And it's easier for everybody to lift this huge tank we're moving, and we walk,
I don't know. I just grab my side when you say 1. I'm already standing up.
Well, then you're over there stressing and turning red because it's not lifting up until everybody else reaches 3. This is you not listening.
No,
son.
I just go straight up.
Let me see what else we got. Mr. Bossy Pants, y'all take turns if you really watch the vids. Sorta, we do, baby. We really do. Josh does control the crowd, but nobody seems to rag on him. They all seem to jump down my throat. And I don't get it. Why am I so hated by the crowds out there of all the YouTube people when I do so much? Josh, if he had his way, he'd sell everything. He wouldn't give away nothing. And I give so much to so many people, When people come to donate, I ask them, do you need anything for your tank? You need a heater, you need a light, you need anything. And I give it to them, And, nursing homes, here's your koi, here's your new tank. Josh, he's a businessman. He wants to sell it all, and he gets mad at me for being nice, But let me see here. Raheem says, Bigrich for back pain, use hot water bag or heating pad. Well, that's not it, Raheem. I fell off of a roof and hit the truck that I was delivering shingles from halfway down, and my shoulders and head hit the truck, and my body kept on going, and it flipped me over, and I actually crushed some vertebrae, and I didn't have no insurance at the time. Well, later on in life now, this is 30 years later, I have I'm not a back specialist, but I want to call it a slip disc, because when I went into the hospital, they said, all their T17 and 13 and 15 or something like that is crushed, and you got this. We can fix it. We need surgery. I don't know anything about that. Here's how I analyze it. It feels like I'm walking, and all of a sudden, a nerve is getting pinched, like a disc slipped out, and now it's being pinched. And if I turn a certain way, if I bend a certain way, it's like, and it hurts, and I can't breathe. It knocks the wind out of me. And it happens for 2-3 days at a time?
Yeah.
And then I'm back normal, you know what I'm saying? It still hurts me to bend over if I bend all the way over and try to touch my toes. But that's normal now. I'm talking when the back pain flares up, for 2-3 days, I can't do nothing. If Hoover goes taps me on my side, I turn, oh, and I'm like that. I can't do normal life. Normally, I can do normal life as long as I don't bend over all the way. So he calls me can't bend over.
I call him can't bend over. He just can't bend over, fellas.
The people wanted to do the surgery, but because of our service and our USA, stuff, it cost me $2,800 a year to have hospitalization on myself being a subcontractor, because I rent out properties. I own houses and I rent properties out. So I have to be a subcontractor. So I pay the $2,800 a year for my own health care. Then I have to pay 20% of anything. Hang on, Tracy. There you go, honey. You're all clear. I have to pay 20%. So if the surgery, which my last surgery was $90,000, after that, now this back surgery is going to be about $70,000. 10% of that's $7,000. So 20% would be $14,000 plus the $2,800 I have to pay for the not hospitalization, my own health care. So we're talking, $17,000 to have the surgery. I'm just like, I can live with it. It only happens once every couple weeks, once every month, and then I'm good the rest of the time, so I live without it, and I live in the pain because I just can't afford $17,000 going on something I can't see. But anyways, let's get back to the fishy stuff.
Somebody said, do you guys have any goldfish? I seen that down there on the bottom.
Let's see, when you have Ross Dingle says, could you move the globe tank away from the location from other skylights? I could, but it'd still be the same problem. When it comes time to clean the algae, it's a pain in the butt. So I don't even want to mess with it no more. Hoover is my spirit animal. Visual with Dano says. How funny. Amy McCluskey says, because you get it done, sir. Plus, you male people see their own hearts, hugs. Okay. Well, thank you, Bambi, whatever that means. Fishing with Dano says, very respectful, Big Rich. You only live once and you don't bring the money with you. Well, that's true. Who's hating on you, Big Rich? From Kitty? Oh, if you guys would watch the videos online and then read the remarks, I get so many remarks like, "Oh my God, if I was Josh, I would be fighting with you," or if I was that guy, I wouldn't listen to you, or thank God you're not my boss, and all this other stuff. It's crazy. Mr. West says, Wes and Darrell from Vancouver Island, British Columbia says, hey, Big Rich, cortisone shots work for marbles if you need it. Well, that would be great. I'm willing to try anything. Miss Lukey says, any recommendations on lighting? Oh, it just jumped. I lost that. Where'd it go? Oh, Command the Norland says, you're not hated, Big Rich.
We got 6 minutes to 8.
Really? See, now that ain't that hard. I like it. Let me see here. What else we got? Annie McCluskey says, get that gym up and running for Tracy. You'll get a workout too. I'm so sorry for your pain. No way to live. Yeah, but I just got to live through it. And I keep going. If I'm in that situation and it knocks the wind out of me, ask Hoover. I'm like, oh, and then I start moving again and continue going what we're doing. I don't go sit in the bed and, I'm just, I don't,
Ain't no use in sitting there. Do something.
Right.
There's somebody from Hong Kong right there. Hi, Bigrich and Hoover reaching out to you from Hong Kong. Wish I could
in Ohio to help out as a rescue. If I fly to America, that's one top thing I would do. Thank you for your contributions. Oh, that's from Alan Sir. Thank you.
Thank
Alan.
you.
Thank you. Fishing with Dano says, what's your biggest clown loaches and how long have you had them? Probably about 13 inches and maybe 2 years. We got them in at 7 inches, something like that.
Sue Ann says Hoover is counting. Now I'm going to have a long day tomorrow, though.
Oh, yeah, you're driving. It's a 8.5 hour drive there.
And I got to make sure at night that Reaper stays up. Because sometimes, he veers sideways. I'm like, whoa, Reaper, what are you doing, dude?
Reaper's sleeping now so that he can get here at 2 o'clock, and then you guys are leaving. So that's why I say, on your way out there, I think Reaper will be fine. And then all of a sudden, morning will hit, and it'll be daylight, and he can make it there fine. It's the way back.
The way back is what I already know.
That's where you got to watch
every trip. It's like that. I'm saying when I go with Reaper, every trip it's like that. He veers off to the right all the time, and I'm like, whoa, hold on, don't go in that ditch, Reaper. And he's like, oh, I got it. I'm like, I'm just making sure, man. I'm making sure you're staying awake, dude.
See, and Suan says it's still 316 watts. So we got, our normal main is like 450 or so. We still got our 316 hardcore people wanting to go till 8. Mr. Skip a paddle doda. I see an anesthesiologist and get epidural cortisone shots in my back. 3 shots over the course of a few months, twice a year. Stuff is a miracle. Couldn't take the pain otherwise. Wow. I'll look into that. D. Vagan says, Bigrich, how many lungfish do you keep in one tank? Thanks from the UK. Well, right now we have 3 in the 750, and they're all about 36 inches. And they're all about yay big around. Let's say bigger than a pop can, smaller than a 2-liter bottle. They're, I would say, the size of my cups. They're the size of my cups right here around. And they get along just fine. As long as you, and now if they're starving, they will nip off each other's arms and legs. The arms and legs grow back, but they do that. So you got to watch for that. Yeah, guys, Marie Dean says, hit the like button. I'd appreciate that if you do. It helps us out. Sean H says, be safe, guys. Stop for coffee, of course. Marie Dean says, have a good trip tomorrow, Hoover.
I will.
She says, thank you for keeping awake, Hoover. No. I thank you.
No, I got to stay awake. I'm saying, especially when you don't know if you're going to be on the side of the road in a ditch or on the highway.
Oh, you know how many different rescues I've gone on to where, like, the trailer tires popped, and I'm on the side of the highway, and we actually had, this is a crazy story. The trailer tire is flat. And I can't get a jack under it. So we're having Tracy, I think, who was that? Some girl went with us and somebody else. And then I'm underneath the trailer trying to push up while they're lifting so that I can get the jack under it to get the tire off the ground. And we're on the side of the highway. And some semi-truck driver pulls up behind us, turns on extra lights, and it's all lit up. And he's like almost on the road, but 9/10 off the road, and he pulls up behind us. Now he comes out and he's like, I've watched you guys. You guys are great. You guys help out. Blah blah blah. I couldn't pass by without stopping and helping you.
You got one chat there where it says, "Oh,
I'll get to it." So, anyways, he sat there the whole time and lighted up the whole thing and kept other cars from coming in towards us to hit us because I'm laying under the trailer with my legs sticking out towards the highway. And he sat there the whole time and helped us out. And I got the trailer, tire changed. and we got back on the road. And this guy was a saint for stopping and helping us like that. Because, you know, if you see people on the side of the road, some cars just veer towards them. So
It's 8 o'clock.
I know. I'm willing to go to 10 or 12 or whatever it takes.
Yeah.
All right, let's see this. Whips World says, I shot you a super chat, but you missed it. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there any chance I can meet Reap and Hoover along the way to Iowa? I have a couple Jaguars I need to rehome. If you go to MapQuest and put in Cleveland, Ohio, to what's that city in Iowa?
I don't know. I'm saying they didn't know. I haven't seen.
We'll release that, but Cleveland to Iowa, you'll see what highways they're on, and if you're close to there, I'm sure he won't mind. It's just he's already got 2 other stops. He's got to go 30 minutes north and 20 minutes south for these other 2 stops, and on his way back, he's going to be tired as can be. So if you want to meet him there, you know, because you've been a long time follower of us, I would love for you to meet them. If you want to meet him along the way, you just let us know, and we'll coordinate that. You've talked to me through Messenger. Just talk to me on there. I'll get you the address at 2:00 tonight when he's here, and because it's something Josh set up, or maybe before Josh leaves, or did he already leave?
I don't know if he left or not.
Okay.
I know he had to feed the fish.
Right. Yes, definitely. We can set that up for you. Let me see. Fishing with Dano says, such a pleasure, kind sirs. Thank you. Raymond Decker says, hey, Big Rich, you've shown us your filtration and pass-through system, but what does the electric system look like? Do you have extra fuse boxes and extra lines coming from the street? No, we have a 200-amp service going from the street to the house, and then I have 5 sub-panels from the main panel. So every room that we did in addition, we ran a sub-panel too. So that's how that works. All right, guys. Looks like we're getting out of here. It is 8:02. Thank you for hanging out with us and drinking with us. Hoover. Or hamburglar. The drinking words.
Yeah.
You looked all confused.
No,
Are you tired?
No, I was getting ready to say something else. What do we do every Friday?
We stay fishy.
Stay fishing, my friends.
So, all right, guys. We're out here.
All right.
Thank you for hanging out with us. And definitely stay fishy,
my friends.
So let me get this shut down here. There we go. And